Hello and welcome everyone to The Bard's Tale. We are here once again for episode 10, and we have a new thumbnail. We've got a new quest. We're going to go meet with Duke Kingston. So let's go ahead, load up our game, and that's the wrong one. Haha. There we are. Low friends in low places. Episode 1? Okay.
With Mingar on the hunt for the wisest of the elves, our heroes were desperate to learn how to defeat him. But first, they had to escape the city, and for that, they had to do the bidding of the lowest of the low.
Alright. So, before that, we can do that, but before that, it is time to make our full Bards party. Super excited! I have been literally pouring hours over all of the different options that we had, and I think we've got a fun team here. Before I say too much, I just wanted to mention that we do get a character shortly. Her name is Sabali. So as soon as we get to talk to Duke Kingston, then we'll be able to bring out Sabali. I went and checked. She is not a higher level than Crux. So we can go ahead and we can do this now. And because Crux is level 10, all of the people that we're going to get now are going to be level 10. We can actually go ahead and level up Green Lady. And she can go ahead with Sorcerer Journeyman. She's going to get a bonus to Intelligence. That's going to be good for her. And let us go talk to Mercy, the Mercenary Captain. And we'll be able to make our characters now. So we got a couple of goals. We've got Melody. She's going to be a bit of a DPS in the front, and she's also going to be taking a lot of damage, protecting from dealing a lot of damage back with our. Oh, I forgot to write this down here. I didn't write it down on my list. So we can spend one mercenary token to make an entirely new character. Since Melody has been doing Kale's Rudiment, she's going to be doing a lot of damage. She's going to be protecting people by stunning the enemies. But she's also going to go with a bit of sword crits. We'll get to that later. What else? We're going to first make a Trow character. So this is going to be replacing Ringneck. We're going to get at least one Trow in our party, because that Trow is actually going to allow us to, regain opportunity when we get last hits. We're also going to be, so yes, let's go ahead, select Bard, select Culture, go with Trow. So yes, Trow's advantage. The Trow's party gains one opportunity when they land a killing blow. This may happen only once per turn.
You don't scare me.
We've got a couple options here. The portrait will change. The character itself will not. Every Trow has the same build.
You are making me very, very tired.
I'm going to make Shakespeare. However, instead of bemused,
Come on!
I want to make him cynical.
Do you even exist?
Ella and I got together, we discussed all of the different personalities, the characters. We're going to name him Shakespeare. He's going to be cynical. And apparently I think he's supposed to be a Trow mage, which is interesting. Practitioner. But we're going to make him a bard. Just looking based off of his portrait background. Okay, so for skills. Shakespeare here is actually going to be the wielder of an item that we get relatively early, called the Strife Spear. And what the Strife Spear does is it has a lot of strength. Like, we've been fighting with the most strength we found in a weapon is about 6, maybe 7. Strife Spear, it is two-handed, so he won't be able to wield anything in his secondary. However, he is going to get 27 strength from Strife Spear, and that is, I think, I might be wrong about this because I haven't fully completed the game yet, but I think that is the highest single damage you can get in the game. The Strife Spear has 27. One of the weapons called the Hungering Blade, which you get much, much later, is 20 strength total, but it actually reduces your constitution by 10. So, Strife Spear being a relatively early game spear is going to be really solid for us. So that'll have two skills on it already, and they'll be very beneficial for him. We'll be able to showcase those later once we get the item. So he's going to have 2 attack skills already, so he won't need to go anything in attack, except for he'll want a lot of strength. For music, he is going to want War Chanter, which the War Chanter path will give him total of 4 strength, as well as he is going to be going with Falcondine's Fury, which will mark all enemies with Falcondine's Fury, and then damage will detonate the mark, dealing 2 true damage to the target, and this will scale off of his strength. So he's going to have very high strength, he's going to have Falcondine's Fury, and it will detonate after damage, meaning that if someone attacks a target that's low health, and that attack doesn't kill, the Falcondine's Fury will proc, it will kill them, giving us opportunity from our Trow advantage. So that's what we're going to be going, Falcondine's Fury. So we'll move on towards Rabble Rouser. The other thing is we're going to be going with War Chanter, because he is going to be the main user of Archer's Beat. He's going to use Archer's Beat, put that up every round. Put that up once at the start of the round, and then it's going to be up until it fails. And Archer's Beat is going to be an incredible defensive move, because it will deflect 75% of all incoming ranged attacks, meaning that Mangar's Mind Jab, Arcane Barrage, all of the things that have a ranged attack, it's going to deflect 75%. So that means they only have a 25% chance to hit, meaning that it'll be even hard for them to, if he's in the backline, it'll be hard for them to even remove his focus on Archer's Beat. So, those are his 2 main abilities, and for now, until we get the Strife Spear, he's going to be equipping, a Chop, as well as a Sanctuary Score. So, let's go ahead and grab Kale's Rudiment, which is going to be the path to get War Chanter and Archer's Beat. And then every bard that we have is going to be going with Grand Minstrel, which it'll give everyone spell points at the start of combat, meaning that if everyone goes it, once we have a full party of 6 members, we will start with 6 points, 6 spell points at the start of every turn, also counting Brewmaster, meaning every bard will start with 6 spell points, meaning that if he wants to, and he will be able to cast Archer's Beat, as well as Falcondine's Fury in the very first round of combat. So, we'll grab a Spell Song, which will bring us closer to Grand Minstrel. So, with that, we move on to attack. He's not going anything in attack, because he gets his attacks. He can replace certain weapons have abilities attached to them, which the Strife Spear does. The Strife Spear has 2 abilities attached, meaning that he won't have any slots for other abilities, because he'll be using Archer's Beat and Falcondine's Fury. Being a damage person, he is going to go with light armor. Light armor gives the most strength compared to the other types of armors. It'll also grant spell points at higher levels. So that means anyone that is wielding good, proper light armor will be able to have spell points. And those spell points will allow them to, paired with the bonuses to Minstrel, that'll allow them to hold more spell points at the start of combat, meaning that they will actually be able to hold the 6 spell points that they'll be starting with. So he's going to go 2 points into light armor to start. And they actually do also grant a little bit lower intelligence than medium armor. Okay. Next, we're going to go with brewing. And that will go into Brewmaster and a couple other abilities that he'll want to go. Let's see. What else can we get that'll benefit him? Well, he's going to be a backline, so Constitution isn't going to be as important. However, we're going to likely want Intelligence on him, so that Archer's Beat, if he does get hit with a mental attack, Archer's Beat will not drop. Or at least will not drop as well. He could still go with Constitution. It's a bit of a toss-up. One thing that Intelligence does, or at least with the Chug ability, if I can find that. Where is Chug? Okay, well, drinking will has a chance to stun, and that'll allow him to gain or to drink a lot before he actually goes down. Since he is able to be stunned, meaning he's not a dwarf, and he's not going to be able to have any stun immunity, we don't want him going down from drinking, because that being stunned will also interrupt his the Archer's Beat. So we don't want him to get stunned either from him drinking too much. The strength might be good for him, but the stance is going to be very important to the rest of the team. We'll leave getting smashed and hammered to some of our other bards. Okay, so with that, we'll grab the intelligence, and that will give us 8 points, and we'll be able to unlock the second tier, which means we will want probably right away. We will, to give him the abilities he's going to want to use, we'll want Falcontine's Fury, as well as Archer's Beat. Later on, we'll want to grab Minstrel. Before the end of this chain, we grab Minstrel here, and then we'll also be wanting to grab both his Elven Armor for defense, which is the thing we're going to be grabbing next on him, on his next level. We give him Elven Armor. Assuming we have good Elven Armor. And then we'll also get Dwarven Stout, because that'll lead to the perk of Brewmaster. And then we'll have this chain, and that'll be able to be removed. And then we'll go with all of the... we'll decide on the order later. But we'll be able to grab all of the capstones. So, Grand Rebel Rouser, that'll give him strength and opportunity. Grand War Chanter, which will give him Constitution and 5 armor when in his Archer's Beat stance. And Grand Minstrel, which gives him +2 max spell points, and gives everyone else +1 spell point at the start of combat. And then Brewmaster, giving 1 spell point and 1 stack of booze at the start of combat. All of those are going to be great, and then we'll be able to fill in things like the Brewmaster with Mean Drunk, Victory Shot, and we'll also be looking at increasing his strength a lot. And then after that, we'll be looking at things like Intelligence, and that's probably it. Probably end up grabbing some Constitution, and yeah, that'll be later. So, this is what we've got for Shakespear, our Trow Bard. He'll start with 14 Constitution, 9 Strength, 2 Spell Points, 5 Intelligence. He starts with no gear, and that's why. So, we can finish him off. And I'm going to leave everyone in the Ringneck, Green Lady, Crux. They're going to stay in the party for now because we'll be swapping out, at least Ringneck will, be swapping out some of the armor and other stuff he has on him. His elven armor can likely go to someone else. Let's make our second character.
Thanks. Now get. What is it?
Our second character is going to be a troubadour. So let's go ahead, spend another mercenary token. I think we've got like either 4 or 6 of them. I don't exactly remember right now. So, this one, we're going to make a dwarf. This decision was made before I learned something critical. And I'll get to that more in a moment. We're going with dwarf because we've got a specific character build.
Why are you even trying?
Is that your face?
And a character that I kind of started really liking.
Try.
Were you born?
Were you born?
Una here
You.
is going to be innocent
Isn't
female.
my first fight, you know.
She's very, very kind, very, very innocent. It seems to go well with the troubadour skills. She's going to not attack very much. She's going to sing, she's going to dance, and she's going to charm her enemies with her innocence, and she's not going to be killing a lot of people. With her skills, she is going to be going with, first, Wayland's Watch. Wayland's Watch will be another very good defensive ability. It is going to shrink the target foes. In a 2x3, so she'll be able to move, and then she'll be able to shrink most of the enemies, which will reduce their strength by 50% for 1 turn. And later on, when she gets her second, or I guess right away, honestly, we can grab her a harp. And that harp will mean that at a certain amount of drunk, Wayland's Watch, instead of reducing their strength by 50% for 1 turn, it'll reduce strength by 70% and intelligence, I think, by 50%. So, that'll shut down a lot of the enemies because they won't be able to do nearly as much damage. Because strength and intelligence are both going to be attack and damage stats. So, that's going to be very valuable. And she's going to grab that one, and she'll likely have a harp on her. Or she'll have a lute, which will empower her later on ability. She's also going to be the person who wears the red boots. Everyone else has a good set of boots that they're going to wear. For her, she wants to be able to move a lot. So, to move for free, to get Wayland's Watch, for example, or to move and reposition allies, or just to move and stun someone with the Song of Compulsory Cavorting, which we're going to get later. So, she's going to be a troubadour, brewmaster, and minstrel. So, we're going to go ahead, grab minstrel for her, and then we're going to go ahead and attack. She doesn't need the strength, but it'll be useful for her because she's going to be a user of Sanctuary Score, and she'll use She'll use her chop ability. I just wrote that down wrong. I'll cross that out. Okay. She will use her chop ability, and it's also got a 2x3 attack range. So she'll be able to attack people to either side, which will be useful because she's likely going to have some people that are going to be charmed by her. And charmed people will stop being charmed once they take damage. We'll get to more of the troubadour in a moment here. So we're going to go with a bit of strength. No attack abilities on her. She's going to be a little bit of a pacifist, but she still wants 1 attack for the sake of a elven weapon, similar to Kale's axe, that has the jolting or shocking properties that will, after a bunch of non-combat spells, same that we've been doing with, what's her name? Melody. Same with what we've been doing with Melody. She will take that priority over, where she'll be using the red boots, she'll be using her non-combat abilities, and she will be stunning enemy people. For defense, she's going to be a frontline, and she's going to want her intelligence. So, she's going with medium armor. That'll make her much tankier. She's going to go with constitution. She doesn't have a whole lot to go for music or attack, so she's got the extra points for it. And brewing, we're going to go with elven wine, because she's going to need brewmaster. Everyone's going to need brewmaster. And let's see, what is the last option for her? Well, intelligence, to keep her focus. That'll be great for her. So we'll do that. Let's see. What else? Okay, so now, with her 4 skill points left over, she gets her 2nd tier unlocked. So she's going to be focusing on Song of Compulsory Cavorting. So this ability, it costs 3 spell points, and it is a stance, so that'll give her something to focus on, giving her a mental damage shield. So she'll stun herself and a single enemy for 2 turns, as they're forced to dance. If the affected target takes damage, or you end this stance, the enemy is freed from the spell. So, this is what I was saying about the dwarf, and this is the original reason why I made her a dwarf, is that because the Song of Compulsory Cavorting says that she stuns herself, I thought, wait, if she's a dwarf, maybe she won't stun herself. However, that's not exactly how this works with the Song of Compulsory Cavorting. It acts a little bit more like a channel, meaning that once you cast this, you just don't have any other actions available until you cancel the stance. So, it doesn't work, but I fell in love with the character, and she's going to be a dwarf. Theoretically, we could go something else on her, like a Bade. She doesn't really need the skill points, though. She could be a Ficti, but we already have a plan for a Ficti. She could be an elf, which wouldn't be a bad idea. But a dwarf in a front line is actually really good, because that means that they're not able to be moved. So if she's attacked with something like a foe dropper, she's not going to be knocked back, messing up our party positioning. So having frontline dwarves, very much recommend. And she is immune to stun, meaning that someone can't hit her with a stun and drop her focus either. So she's going to go with Troubadour. That'll give her some intelligence, as well as Song of Compulsory Cavorting. Because her main abilities are going to be Sanctuary Score, Wayland's Watch, Song of Compulsory Cavorting, and as well, she's going to be going with Chop. So, she can go with the spell points here, though that's a good question. What does she go with next? Strength will give her bonus attack on her sanctuary, or bonus shielding on her sanctuary score. She is actually going to be one of there are going to be 2 people, I think. Nope, 3 people. Okay, late game there's only going to be 2 people that actually have sanctuary score equipped. She is going to be one of them. Others will take it because it's an incredible ability, and the more we have, the less damage we're going to be taking. And if we don't have anything else to equip, that's going to be an amazing option. So, 2 extra skill points. I think maybe we just go. Let's go with the armor. It'll give her +2 Constitution and Berserker's Battle Garb. Training. And we're probably going to go with what? We don't want Mean Drunk on her, because she doesn't want to damage the people that's in front of her that she's stunning. Victory Shot. She's not going to use Victory Shot very much, because she's not going to be killing enemies. Let's see. She could go with extra defense. That would be really good for her. She could go with extra strength. She could go with extra intelligence. Okay. That's a good question. What's important first? Let's get her to get some extra defense, I think. We have plenty of other people with plenty of strength. Let's make a good tanky front line. She's going to be able to take a lot of hits. So, here we go. Here is Una, our dwarf bard. We start out with a little bit of berserker. Well, we start off with rusty chainmail hauberk and berserker horn helmet. We're going to get much better stuff for her later. She starts with 8 intelligence and 2 spell points, 8 strength, 27 constitution. We could get more intelligence on her. It's fine if we leave it. Okay, so we'll finish her off. Good. So we've got Una, our level 10 bard. Now, for our third person, since we can have 4 right now, since you saw for the party management, we have 4 slots. So Shakespeare is going to replace Ringneck. Una is going to be another frontline. And then we're going to have 1 more. And this is going to be our main DPS here.
Now get what is it?
So, we'll hire our last sellsword here.
Right.
The next person we're going to get is another bard. We've discovered her a little bit in the story so far. Right now, our goal is to get out of the city and find Fiona the Harper. She is another bard that is very knowledgeable in a lot of the old lore. And she is going to be a wonderful addition to our party. She, like every other person except for... Okay. I guess there are 2 people that aren't mandatory characters that you can get. And that is Sabali, who we're going to find soon. And then, Brian? I think his name is Brian. Maybe it's not. I'm forgetting his name. Is it Brian? Anyways, we've got a paladin, a fighter paladin later on. Those 2 are not mandatory. However, Fiona the Bard is, at least for a specific amount of time. And later on, we'll have a Ficti fighter that is going to be mandatory. So those 2 we'll have to have. Fortunately, though, we do want to keep Fiona, and we do want to have her as a bard, so we'll make great use out of her. So, our next person is going to be another dwarf bard as a frontline. This one is going to not be a female. We're going to have the stoic male Merlin the dwarf. He is going to be a frontline fighter with, yes, he will have bludgeon abilities. He will have, he'll be our main DPS with bludgeon abilities, with crits, with more Falcontine's Fury, because he'll be having a lot of strength. He'll have Sanctuary score for now, and later on there's a very special item that he's going to use, which is a shield that gives him double the amount of power from when he gets too drunk, that he gets smashed, and okay. So, as a bard, when you drink too much, you already get double the amount of strength you get for 1 turn, and at the end of the turn, then you get stunned. The fun part about playing a dwarf bard is that dwarves are immune to stun, so they cannot actually get stunned by drinking too much alcohol. So what Merlin's going to do here is he's going to have the lowest possible intelligence we can get on him. And then, hopefully, every turn, or every second turn, we're going to get him he's going to be smashed all the time. So he's going to have double strength all the time. He's going to be our DPS. He's going to be doing a ton of damage. Hopefully. The later game, there is an ability, or there is a special item that he can equip. That is a shield that will give him double the amount of power from alcohol, meaning that he'll get quadruple the amount of strength. And he won't get stunned from it. So he's going to be a wonderful powerhouse in the late game. with all of his damage abilities. So, moving on to his skills, he is going to go with Rabble-Rouser, reading off my list here, Head Knocker. Yes, those are his skills. Okay. Rabble-Rouser first, then Brewmaster, as well as Minstrel. Everyone's going to go with Minstrel, though it's usually going to be the lower priorities for people that don't have the skills for it, or don't have the skill points. So, let's go ahead and, let's see. Yes, Rabble-Rouser first. Rhyme of Duo Time is definitely going to be an option. That's going to be something that, honestly, that's going to be something that Fiona gets. Once we get Fiona, she's going to be using Rhyme of Duo Time. And later on, our Ficti, as our 6th character, is going to be using Rhyme of Duo Time as well. We don't have much room for it with Merlin, though. So we're going to be going with Rabble-Rouser and Minstrel. We're going to be going Attack. We're going to be going our Bludgeon abilities. So we have Bludgeon Novice, which will give us Head Knocker, just in case we need to do some mental damage. We have Critical Hit Bludgeons, which is going to give a 10% chance to stun the target for Head Knocker and Foe Dropper. Later on, we will also get Foe Dropper. So those are going to be his main abilities. Is going to be Foe Dropper and Head Knocker. He's going to have equipped all the time. And then he's going to have Falcontine's Fury as well as Sanctuary Score. So that's what he's going to have equipped. So we'll grab the Critical Hit Bludgeons. So 10% chance to stun the target when you attack with a Bludgeon ability. That will also increase to 15% when we get a further ability with critical hits. And then, when we get critical hits with bludgeon abilities, people behind the target, so if we're hitting a frontline target, anyone behind them will also get stunned if we crit. So, that's what he's going with attacks. For defense, he is going, even though he's in the front line, and chainmail armor, medium armor, is going to be very good for him, we're going to go with the most damage we could possibly get, which is light armor, which will give us the most strength. So we're going to go with light armor, and then we have one more perk point that we can spend on brewing. So, now, we can take we can take more strength here. I'm going to go grab only one strength from here, and then we're going to grab our Falcontine's Fury, because he's going to be another user of that one. Yeah, because that's really all he's going to be spending his spell points on, unless he's using it for Sanctuary Score. Actually, scrap that. We will be getting Falcontine's Fury. I think it'll be a little bit later, though. So that's probably what we're going to be going with next. So I'm going to grab attack first. Okay, we could probably get both. We'll get attack. We'll actually get Elven Armor to start. And we'll probably go... Do we go for the brewing? Okay, how many skills spots do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. The strength is going to be good on him, but maybe we should be going for Victory Shot instead. Yes, we need to be going Victory Shot. Because Victory Shot means that when he gets the last hit on an enemy, he's got a 50% chance that he'll restore a spell point and add a stack of Drunk. And the more times you get stacks of Drunk on him, the more times he'll get smashed, and the more he'll be able to use his double strength. So we're going to grab that. Mean Drunk is also going to be very valuable on him. Which means I think I'm going to slow down on the strength for now. I think we can delay Minstrel, probably, on... we can probably delay Minstrel on Merlin, because he is going to be our DPS, and he's going to be focused on strength. So, that means We go with a Mean Drunk. If we go with Mean Drunk, that means we'll have 4 other skills. Which means 1 will be Town Drunk. Then 2 will be Rabble Rouser. And then we can put 2 in Minstrel. And then we can go Grand Rabble Rouser. We can go with Minstrel. We can go with Brewmaster. We can go with Quick to Celebrate, which increases Victory Shot to 100% chance. I think that's what we'll do. We'll go with Mean Drunk. Wait, did I say Mean Drunk? Okay, Mean Drunk, yes. And then we have 4 more. So 2, 3, 4. I'm counting wrong. Okay, so we've got 5 total skills here. So I prepped slightly less for Merlin. I forgot to look over his stuff. So we've got 5 skills. Mean Drunk is 1, Town Drunk is 2. And then we'll have another 2 from Rabble Rouser, and another 2 from Minstrel. So that'll put us over a little bit. So we can leave Minstrel till later. As long as we get some spell points, we'll be fine here. Okay. So I'm going to go for the Mean Drunk right away. He is going to be our DPS. And the more he knocks back, the better. I mean, the more damage he does, the better. Okay. Yep. I think that's what we do. We go with Mean Drunk. And then we're going to go with Falcon Needs Fury. Yeah, and then we'll go from there. He will get more strength later. Do not worry. Do not worry. We'll get more strength. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, so now we can go ahead, finish off Merlin, the Dwarf Bard. So he'll have Victory Shot, he'll have his critical hit bludgeons, he'll be Dwarven Resilient, cannot be stunned, rooted, or moved by enemies. And Mean Drunk, so he'll be throwing his mug, dealing physical damage. And he has Elven Armor proficiency, so that's probably who is going to get the Elven Armor first. Alright, so with that, we finish off the last character that we're going to build for now. And later on, we can go ahead and get our last character. Her name's going to be Gwendolyn, and she's going to be a Ficti, but we'll get her later. So, let's go ahead, confirm there. We'll keep our old party just long enough to swap some things out here. All of these things that our practitioners have equipped are not going to be available. I'm going to let Crux drop Dispelling Discipline for now, just because I want to keep my puzzle weapons in my inventory here, and I want to keep track of which ones we have. On that note, I'm going to move all of our puzzle weapons to the very back, so that we can keep track of them. Okay, there we go. All 3 of our elven weapons so far are there. Yes?
Yes?
Yes.
Yes?
Eh?
Everyone's saying yes, so I think we're good here. We also have Firehorn. I'm gonna put that with the rest of them. It's not a puzzle weapon, but it is still a unique rare item. And anything else. So yes, so we spent 3 mercenary tokens. So that means we had 5, because we have 2 left over. And let's see. Anything else? Apprentice gloves. That's a unique item. You can go in the back there with the rest of it. We're not going to be having to get rid of any of the stuffs off of them. Although Silver Circlet, I will actually ask Crux to remove, because that will be incredible on someone that will need the extra spell points. Alright,
Eh?
Ringneck, sorry to do this to you, friend, but we would like to take that armor to use it. So we're going to probably give him some basic leather armor, because we're going to be needing that. And Blazing Star, we'll be using that as well. Do not worry. Do not worry. Never mind. I'll keep it here, but Bards are all going to be equipping tankards. That's one thing that I forgot to mention. All Bards get tankards for free when you're creating Mercenary. Giant Hide Leather Helm, we'll want that as well. Which means, here, let's go ahead and filter to armor. We can give you this Reinforced Leather Helm, or Flame Cured Leather Helm. This one's actually much worse. We'll give you this one. Okay. And Padded Armor Boots, we'll take his boots as well. Someone will probably need those early game. We'll definitely get better boots and more boots later. Okay. With that, we grabbed everything off of everyone. You can keep your Feather Charm, that's not a unique item. Let's go ahead, swap up our party. Alright, Shakespeare, replace Ringneck. Thank you, Ringneck. Green Lady, you have been wonderful. Thank you. And Una will replace you. And, well, not exactly. And then Crux. You've been fun. You've been fun. Not exactly the best personality, but you've been fun to use. Fun to have around. So there we are. Melody, Shakespeare, Una, and Merlin. And yes, I named Shakespeare because by the way, you can give them custom names. I just decided to keep the names that were already given. Shakespeare is going to wield the Strife Spear. I just thought that it was a wonderful little punny thing to equip Shakespeare with a spear. So, we're going to do that. It fits nicely. So here we are. We finally have our full party. Let's position differently here. Una, with her red boots, is going to go off in the corner there.
Excuse me.
We're going to put Merlin up front, who's also supposed to be mage, it would seem. But he'll do fine there. And Shakespeare, he's going to be in the back line here. And later on, Fiona will be behind Una. And we'll have our Ficti in the center, and she's going to be using Spell Song, giving spell points to everyone. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead, heal up, and we might need to go shopping. But first, let's go ahead and... okay. Is there anyone we need to talk to? Well, Green Lady's out here. I'm just checking to make sure... we can talk to Mage Alguin. I'm pretty sure he has some stuff, but it's probably just for practitioners.
I must admit I miss my workshop, but it is good to be among friends. One forgets how delightful company is, eh? Well, now, I'm here, and I'm trying to make myself useful. So if you require any items of a magical nature, I will do my best to procure them for you.
Thank you. Oh, I see. We've heard that the lyrics of Snow and Summer might tell us how to defeat Mangar. Ah. Let's see if the mage knows anything about this. We did find the book, The Snow and Summer, in his tower.
Yes, the song mentions the Spectre Snare, the weapon that helped slay Mangar the last time he menaced Skara Brae.
This is actually a side quest. Since it is Mangar's reliquary that we need to kill Mangar, it is not the Spectre Snare. The Spectre Snare is a unique weapon that was used originally as a weapon to kill Mangar. The same with Strife Spear. Strife Spear is a unique weapon, not needed to kill the Mad God Tarjan, but that is what originally killed him, was the Strife Spear. Mangar's Tower is what has the Spectre Snare. And Mangar's Tower is actually very nearby. I don't exactly know what level we're going to be doing Mangar's Tower on, but hey. Maybe we'll do that before we head out of the city. We'll have to look at levels, though. Let's see his stock. So if we ever need a mercenary token, it's going to cost us 200, and it'll be up here. Which 200 is a very good deal. He's got a lot of practitioner stuff. It's not going to be useful for us. But 200 is actually quite a good deal. And that is going to give... that's going to give us a big discount, because typically it costs 1,000 coin to gain a mercenary token, because you can buy them or trade them in at the altar in the Herrenhold. Alright. So, I think that's where we'll leave it for today. We still have yet to equip everyone, but I think we've been going on character stuff long enough. Everyone will just equip the armor that they're best proficient in, and then we'll be on our way to continue, or to begin, I suppose, low friends in low places. So today will just be character building, and that's fine. I'm glad that I could go through all of my character builds for, I guess, not all of them, but the first 4. And I'll be looking forward to seeing you in the next episode as we try them out for the first times. And probably do a little bit of shopping for them, because we'll need some gear. Anyways, thank you all for joining us. We'll see you on the next episode, and farewell.